Okay, we want to continue on the part of descriptive measure. Okay, so on last class, kita dah tengok on how to measure central tendency. Okay, and also measure of dispersion or variation. So we will already cover on range and standard deviation and variance. Okay, so today kita nak continue on measure of dispersion or variation of the data, which is coefficient of variation. Okay. Okay, so this is another method that can be used to measure dispersion or variation of the data set. Okay, so we can use coefficient of variation, okay, or we call it as CV. Right, so kat sini dia kata the purpose of calculating the CV is to identify which groups are more consistent. Okay, so if the question asks to find which group is more consistent, so we know you should use this method, coefficient of variation. Alright, so in order to determine the most consistent group, choose the smallest percentage between or among the groups. Okay, so if the question asks, okay, the first step is you find the CV. Okay, so how to find the coefficient of variation? This is the formula. Okay, sample standard deviation over sample mean. Okay, times with 100%. Okay, so this is the formula. And then once you get the value of CV for each group, for example, we find CV for A, CV for B, CV for C, CV for D, for example. Okay, so you find the value and then you refer the questions. Okay, the question, if the question asks which group is more consistent among these four groups, so we will choose the smallest percentage. So you tengok smallest percentage yang mana satu. Okay, and then lagi satu. Okay, so to calculate the coefficient of variation CV, your answer must be in percent. Okay, in percentage. For example, you got 2.5%. Okay, so yang ini contohnya you dapat 15.2. Okay, this one you got 5.7. This one you dapat, for example, 10.2. Okay, so if the questions ask which group is more consistent or dia tanya yang less dispersed or dia tanya yang more stable or more reliable. Okay, so if the question asks, okay, which one is more consistent, less dispersed, more stable or more reliable, so you will choose the smallest percentage of coefficient of variations. So maksudnya among these four groups, so the more consistent or less dispersed or more stable or more reliable group is, the smallest one is A. So A is the more consistent ataupun the more stable. Okay, so that is how you answer the question for coefficient of variation. But if the question asks which group are more dispersed or less consistent or less stable or less reliable, we will choose the largest percentage of coefficient of variation. So you choose lah among these four, which one is the largest percentage of coefficient of variation. So kalau kita tengok in this example, so this one lah. So B is more dispersed or B is less consistent. Okay, B is less stable. Okay, so first thing you must calculate the coefficient of variation and then make sure your answer is in percent. Okay, in percentage, make sure the unit jangan tertinggal. Okay, don't forget the unit. And then baru you answer the question. Question ask yang mana satu. Okay, sama ada yang ini ataupun yang ini. Okay, so you akan pilihlah either largest or smallest. Okay, so if your calculation is correct but your conclusion is wrong, so you only get the marks for this calculation je lah. Okay, so for conclusion you lost 1 mark. Okay, hilang 1 markah. Okay, so ini adalah untuk coefficient of variation. Dia hanya kita nak tahu the most consistent group yang mana satu. Okay. So this is the example for coefficient of variation. So kat sini dia kata a student is conducted to determine the performance of students from various classes of Sekolah Menengah Taman Merujati. So the measurements on students CGPA were tabulated as follows. So dekat sini dah bagi the value for kelas Melati, Lily and Mawar. So this is the mean. Okay. So this is the mean, this is the median. Okay, this is the mode, and then this is the variance. Okay, so dekat sini you kena hati-hati. Okay, since the formula to find the CV is S over mean times with 100%. Okay, so dekat sini, okay, the question gave you the variance S square, but in the formula it only S, standard deviation. So what you need to do is you need to square root this value. Okay, so maksudnya this one, okay, 2755. So you nak dapatkan this one, so you kena square root lah. Okay, so barulah you dapat nilai S you, barulah boleh substitute dekat dalam formula. Okay, so dekat sini dia kata using the more suitable measurement, which class is more consistent. Okay, once soalan tanya more consistent, you know lah, you kena guna this formula. Okay, coefficient of variation. So, for example, kat sini I show you how to calculate the coefficient of variation for Melati. So, we use this formula. So, the standard deviation for Melati, you just square root the 0.2755 and then over your mean. So, this is your mean for Melati times with 100%. So, you will get this answer. Okay, so now I want you to find the value coefficient of variation for Lily and Mawar. Okay, using the same formula. Okay, using this one. Okay, so you find the CV for Lily and Mawar. So just substitute the value from the table and then you substitute into the formula to get the value. So CV for Lily is 15.65. Okay, good. Okay. And CV for Mawar is 15.01. Okay, so semua dapat the same answer?
Dapat.
Alright, so this is the value for Lily and Mawar, coefficient of variation. So now the question asks, which class is more consistent? Okay, so we refer to the table. If we want to find more consistent, okay, we should choose the smallest percentage of CV. Alright, so which one is the smallest percentage of CV?
Mawar.
Mawar. Okay, so our conclusion is class Mawar is more consistent in their performance since it has the smallest percentage value of coefficient of variation. Okay, so if the question asks, okay, which class is more dispersed? So
Melati.
Melati. Okay, so kalau most dispersed, kita kena ambil yang the largest percentage. So kalau dia tanya more dispersed, so kita kata Melati lah. Okay, kalau dia kata more apa nama itu, dia kata more stable, kalau more stable still lagi Mawar. Okay, so kalau more stable, more reliable, more consistent, less dispersed, Mawar. Okay, tapi kalau more dispersed, less stable, less reliable, so itu adalah Melati. Okay, so apa-apa kita refer kepada this table untuk buat conclusion. Okay, so far okay for coefficient of variation. Okay, alright. So kalau okay, kita tengok on the last one. Okay, measure of skewness. Okay, so before this, okay, kita tengok from the graph, okay, on descriptive data. Okay, kita ada histogram, box and whisker plot, and also stem and leaf plot. So kita boleh tengok the skewness based on the graph. Okay, but now you can calculate, okay, to find the skewness of the data. Okay, so to measure the skewness of the data, we will use this method. Okay, Pearson coefficient of skewness. Okay, so ini nama method dia. So kalau the question asks what is the suitable method to measure skewness, so you tahulah Pearson coefficient of skewness. Alright, so skewness is measurement of the shape of distribution. Okay, maksudnya kita nak tengok, nak measure shape of our distribution ataupun kita punya skewness lah. Alright, so this measurement is widely used whenever we want to identify whether the data is normal or skewed. Okay, and then dia kata kat situ, in generally, the shape of distribution can be normal, positively skewed or skewed to the right, or negatively skewed or skewed to the left. Okay, so dia boleh bagi jadi normal or no skew. And then dia boleh jadi positively or negatively skewed. Okay, so this is the formula to find the skewness. Okay, there are two formula that you can be used. Okay, so if the question give you the value for mean, mode, and median. Okay, so if the question give you this value, so you can use either this formula, the first formula, or the second formula. Okay, since the data give you mean, data, mode, and median. But if the question only give you on mode and mean, okay, only these two value, so you can only use the first formula only. Okay, since the second formula consists of median, so the question only give you mean and mode. Okay, so you use the first formula. Okay, but if the question given you mean and median, so these two, mode dia tak bagi, so you can use the second formula. Okay, but if the question give you this formula, so you can use either one lah. Okay, tak kisah, since value semua ada. Alright, so kita dah kira the skewness, okay, the value, and then how to find or determine the shape of distribution. Okay, we will determine the shape of distribution based on these three value lah. Okay, if you got, okay, you kira the skewness and then you got the value is 0. Okay, dapat nilai dia memang kosong, tepat-tepat kosong. So we will say that the data is symmetrical or normal. Okay, maksudnya our mean is equal to mode. So bila kita tolak dapat kosong lah. Okay, so bila you dapat memang tepat-tepat 0, so kita kata there is a normal distribution or symmetrical. Okay, but if you calculate the value, you got positive value. Okay, so bila you got positive value, maksudnya more than 0, so kita akan kata skewed to the right. Okay, yang mana nilai mean kita lebih besar daripada mode, sebab tu kita dapat positive value. Alright, and the last one, if we got the skewness, okay, the value is less than 0, maksudnya kita dapat negative value, then kita kata the shape of distribution is skew to the left. Okay, so maksudnya nilai mean tu less than mode. Right, so itu adalah untuk how to find the skewness. So this is the example. Okay, so dekat sini dia guna example yang sama. So calculate the skewness for the above data and comment on the shape of distribution. For example, so this is the first formula, this is the second formula. Okay, so skewness untuk the first one ni, so you just substitute the value. Okay, this is the mean and mode. Just substitute and then over standard deviation, so you will get this value. Since the value is positive, so we said that the shape of distribution is positively skewed. Okay, so for this one, the second formula, just substitute and then you got the answer 0.1143. So kita kata the shape of distribution is positively skewed. Okay, so now you try on Lily and Mama. Okay, use the formula. Okay. Okay, so Lily 1.6670. Okay, good. And then for Lily untuk the second formula 5.0310. Betul ke? Betul 5.03 3.2 minus 3.13 times with 3 over square root of 0.2509. So yang ini betul. Okay, 1.6770. Yang ini macam salah je nilai dia tu. And then for this one, for Mawar, you will get the answer 0.3171. Okay, betul. Then this one is 0.8246. Okay, so semua ni is positively skewed or skewed to the right. 0.419. Betul. So this is 0.4192. Okay. So semua ni positively skewed. Okay. Skew. Ni pun positively skewed. Right? So okay, is there is any questions? So kita dah cover on measure of central tendency. Kita ada mean, mode, median, and then measure of dispersion or variation. So kita ada range, standard deviation and variance, and also coefficient of variation. And the third one kita ada measure of skewness, yang mana kita measure the skewness using Pearson coefficient of skewness to get the shape of distribution. And then the last one kita ada measure of position, yang mana this value ni you dah cover on how to draw box and whisker plot. Okay, so untuk measure of position, okay, so first you must know the formula, okay, how to calculate the first quarter range, which is consist 25%. Okay, sebab tu dekat sini dia adalah 1/4. Okay, so yang mana positional value where 25% of the observation are smaller and 75% are larger. Okay, so if the question asks you to interpret, so maksudnya you find the first quarter range, okay, dah dapat berapa the value, and then dia suruh you interpret the value. So you must use 25% of what is the questions is less than your Q1 value, and 75% of tak kisahlah apa variables in the question is more than Q1 value. So make sure when you interpret first quarter range, dia mesti 25% less, 75% more. Kalau you terbalik, 75% more, 75% less, so wrong lah. Okay, so make sure to interpret the first quarter, dia mesti 25% less, 75% more. And then for second quartile range or median, so half, 50%, consists of 50%. So sebab dia adalah 50%, so kat sini 1/2 lah. Okay, yang mana positional value where 50% of the observation are smaller and 50% are larger. So when we interpret the value, kita akan kata 50% of the variable is less than our value and 50% lagi more than Q2 value. And the last one is third quartile range, which consists of 75%. Sebab tu dekat sini the formula is 3/4. Okay, so this is the positional value where 75% of the observation are smaller and 25% are larger. Okay, so bila kita interpret dia, kita akan kata 75% of the variable is less than our Q3 value, okay, third quartile value, and 25% of the variable is more than Q3. So untuk this one, you jangan terbalik lah. Okay, antara Q1 dengan Q3 ni. Okay, you jangan terbalik. Kalau Q1 25% less, kalau Q3 75% less. Okay, and then kita ada interquartile range. Okay, yang mana nak dapatkan the value for interquartile range, we just minus the Q3 minus Q1. Alright, so we already finished our topic 2. Okay, so for topic 2, basically it consists of it divided into 2. Okay, so the first one is on how to organize and graphing your data. Okay, so we have qualitative and quantitative data. So for qualitative data ni maksudnya if your data is categorical. So tak melibatkan nombor. Okay, so we can present our data or organize our data using frequency distribution table or using cross tabulation or using pie chart or using bar chart. Okay, so for example, the question asks, okay, so contohnya dia bagi the data is gender. So dia tanya, what is the suitable graphical presentation? So kita tahu gender is categorical data ataupun qualitative data. So kalau dia tanya what is the suitable graphical graphical data, okay, macam mana kita nak graphing our data. So the answer will be this one lah. Okay, tak kisahlah sama ada nak guna pie chart ke, bar chart ke, cross tabulation ke, tak kisah. As long as dia adalah yang memang untuk qualitative data. Okay, so for quantitative data, if your data is on numerical, okay, so to present your data, your numerical data, so it either stem and leaf plot, histogram or box and whisker plot. So if the data is quantitative, to present or to graphing your data, you hanya boleh stem and leaf plot, histogram or box and whisker plot. So contohnya kalau gender ni tiba-tiba you kata the suitable presentation of data is histogram for example. So salah lah, is wrong. Sebab gender is categorical data. So the suitable graphical data dia adalah yang inilah. Okay, so kalau data tu adalah dalam bentuk kuantitatif, so yang ini. Okay, for example age. Okay, so itu adalah untuk organizing and graphing your data. And then the second part is on numerical descriptive measure yang kita dah cover until this week lah. Okay, which is central tendency consists of mean, median and mode. And then variation, kita ada range, standard deviation, variance and coefficient of variation. And then for skewness, kita ada Pearson coefficient of skewness. And the last one is position. Okay, so we finish our topic 2. Okay, so before I nak explain on title of the project, so kita tengok on tutorial. Okay, so untuk tutorial for December 2019, so saya nak you try these questions. Okay, December 2019. So you buat December 2019 A, B and C. You try these questions. Okay, so for these questions, okay, so to calculate the mean and standard deviation for the Valley Bank waiting time, so you kena hati-hati kat sini, since kita ada Providence Bank and Valley Bank, so make sure you tengok, kalau Valley Bank maksudnya you akan guna this data lah, data yang dekat bawah tu. So how to calculate mean and standard deviation, so you buat macam yang kita dah belajar, okay, just use your calculator, okay, you tak perlu nak kira satu-satu, okay, to find the mean. Okay, just tekan di calculator, dapatkan nilai summation of x ni, maksudnya you just terus je dapatkan. So summation of x dia terus je buat yang ini. Okay, so no need untuk nak listkan tambah semua ni, tak perlu. Okay, just terus buat the answer. Okay, maksudnya untuk mean tu, okay, x bar is equal to you punya summation of x over n. Contohnya macam ni, you terus buat je. and then dapatkan from your calculator. Okay, sama juga untuk your standard deviation. So for standard deviation, just use calculator to find the value of summation of x square and summation of x, and then this one you tekan shift 2. Okay, yang ni shift 1, yang ni shift 2. Okay, so you try buat dulu. Okay, so A means 6.373. Okay, betul. And then for standard deviation is 0.4621. Okay, betul. And then for B, comment on the shape of distribution for each plot. So for Provident Banks, dekat sini kawan you jawapan dia positively skewed untuk Provident. Provident positively skewed, and then for Valley Bank is negatively skewed. Alright, and then CV for Provident Bank is 30.21, and for Valley Bank is 7.25, and Valley Bank is more consistent in waiting times. Okay, so kalau you nak buat reason for consistent ni, kita just cakap Valley Bank is more consistent since it has the smallest percentage of CV. Okay, reason dia macam tu je. Okay, so for A, okay, so dia suruh kira the mean. Okay, so mean is, you terus je buat, kita tahu the formula is this one. So you will get the summation of x is 95.6 over 15. So make sure for A ni you show all the calculation. So you jangan buat just x bar and then the answer. So you just only get the answer for your final answer je lah, yang calculation tak dapat. So make sure you show all the values. Okay, so this one nanti you akan dapat 733. Okay, and then for for A mean, and then for standard deviation, so just substitute the value, okay, n minus 1 summation of x square minus summation of x square over n. So just substitute the value into the formula. Okay, so 1 over, so kita punya kat sini kita ada n kita is 15. So 15 minus 1. Okay, summation of x square we will get 612.28. Okay, summation of x is 95.6 square over 15. Okay, and then you will get the answer is 0.4621. Okay, so this is for A. And then for B, okay, dia suruh comment on the shape of distribution for each plot. So dekat situ you just tengok sahaja dia punya ni, and then make sure you label. Okay, so you just cakap je Provident Bank. Okay, so for Provident Bank kita kata the shape of distribution. So since kita tahu yang ini lebih panjang, okay, so this is your minimum value, this is maximum value. So kalau you tak nampak, bila kita terbalikkan dia, okay, so ini dalam vertical, so kalau kita buat dalam bentuk horizontal, so dia akan jadi macam ni lah. Okay, so kalau dalam bentuk horizontal jadi macam ni. So dia lebih panjang belah kanan, okay. Ataupun kotak yang atas ni lebih tinggi. Okay, so kita kata the shape of distribution is positively skew ataupun skew to the right. Okay, and then for Valley Bank, kita kata the shape of distribution, since kita tengok kat sini, yang belah bawah ni lebih panjang ataupun bila kita jadikan dia dalam bentuk horizontal, so dia akan jadi macam ni lah. So kita nampak yang kiri ni lebih panjang. So kita kata dia negatively skew. Okay, so that is for B. And then for C, the mean and standard deviation for Provident Bank are 5.6 and 1.692 respectively. Determine which bank shows a more consistent in waiting time. So maksudnya dekat sini bila dia suruh find more consistent, so kita baru je belajar tadi coefficient of variation. So macam mana cara nak jawab dia? So kita akan kira the value, okay, CV. So ni for C. So kita akan kira the value CV for Valley Bank and Provident Bank. Okay. So just substitute, make sure you show all the calculation. Okay. So for PB kita ada 1.961 over 5.6 times with 100%. And then you will get 30.21%. So make sure don't forget your percent ni. Okay. And then CV for Valley Bank, okay, 0.4621 over 6.3733 time with 100%. So you akan dapat the answer is 7.25%. So dia nak tahu which one is more consistent. So kita kata Valley Bank. Okay, so Valley Bank is more consistent, okay, compared to Provident Bank since it has the smallest percentage of CV. Okay. So macam itulah untuk answer this question. So this is the example. So in final, basically every topic dia akan masuk. Okay, so untuk soalan question tu dia akan ada satu soalan untuk dia saja. Okay, question untuk yang topik 1 dia akan ada satu question untuk dia saja. Alright. So nanti for June 2019 until July 2017. So nanti saya akan assign siapa yang akan buat. So nanti you snap your answer dekat dalam group. So nanti before kelas esok lah. Nanti senang saya compile dan kita boleh discuss. Okay. So nanti yang ini you sambung. Nanti saya akan assign siapa yang akan buat untuk Jun sampai Julai 2017. So now saya nak explain on your project. Okay. Since hari tu saya dah suruh apa namanya tu, you cari group, okay, make consist a group of 4 or 5 students. Okay, so nanti saya akan listkan dekat dalam group, nanti you isi je lah nama dengan tajuk if you dah jumpa. So yang ni saya nak tunjuk example, okay, example tajuk yang previous students pernah buat. Okay, so dekat sini contohnya dekat sini dia nak study about factors that influencing the stress of students in FSKM. Okay, so macam saya cakap, in this project we will use questionnaire. You akan develop a questionnaire. So how to develop your questionnaire? Okay, we will divide our questionnaire into 2 parts. Okay, first is section A and another one is section B. Alright, so for section A, for demographic profile, okay, you will use your qualitative and quantitative data. Okay, so dekat sini for part A ni, so kita akan contohnya dekat sini kita ada gender. Okay, gender kita ada male or female. So sekarang data ni adalah data qualitative data. So nanti bila kita buat in our report, so kita akan buat gender ni either you nak buat on pie chart ke, bar chart ke, apa namanya itu, probability distribution ke, macam tu. Okay, apa yang kita dah apply in topik tu. Okay, so kalau age, contohnya age ni saya nak you buat dalam bentuk quantitative data. So sebab you kena isi tempat kosong, kita akan dapat data tu dalam bentuk continuous. Okay, so bila data ni dalam bentuk quantitative, so yang sesuai nanti bila you nak present your data, sama ada you nak guna box and whisker plot, histogram ataupun apa nama itu stem and leaf plot. Okay, and then yang ni contoh lagi adalah program. Okay, so program ni pilihlah, choose yang mana satu. Okay, so for part A ni saya nak at least 3 and maximum 5. You tak payah nak banyak-banyak sangat variable. Okay, cukuplah dalam 3 ataupun 4 is enough. Sebab nanti you will do the same. Okay, contohnya nanti yang ini you nak buat bacat, semua benda yang sama. Okay, so saya nak at least 3, maximum 5. Okay, so untuk part A. Saya boleh discuss lah. Okay, and then for part B, so for part B ni adalah, this one is for your descriptive statistic, yang mana nilai tu adalah nilai yang kita belajar on topic tu, and then for section B ni adalah on inferential statistic. So ini akan yang kita akan belajar dekat topik 3 until topik 5. Kita akan apply apa yang kita belajar. Okay, so yang untuk topik tu kita akan apply on section A. So for section B kita akan apply on inferential statistic. So for part B, okay, so saya nak you cari based on you punya title lah, tajuk you. Contohnya dia nak tahu what is the factor influencing the stress of student in FSKM. So bila student in FSKM, so bila data ni you ambil memang data daripada FSKM lah. And then make sure bila you buat program ni, you can get the data from these 4. So yang ini untuk program ni pun you pilih dalam 3 ataupun 4 program saja, tak perlu sampai 10. Okay, 3 ataupun 4 is enough. Okay, make sure you boleh dapat daripada setiap satu ni. Contoh ni you dapat 3 orang, ni you dapat dalam 5 orang, ni you dapat dalam 10 orang, ni you dapat dalam 20 orang. Boleh. Asalkan ada, jangan tiba-tiba you punya program ni ada 4. Tiba-tiba yang jawab tu semua statistik sahaja. Yang lain ni tak ada. So sia-sialah, make sure ada wakil. Even seorang pun jadilah. Okay, sebab nanti you kena collect data, at least you punya data tu kena 30 orang. Okay, so itu adalah untuk part A. So for part B, sekarang ni kita akan cari the factor yang influence you punya stress. Apa yang menyebabkan students tu stress? So you kena cari mungkin dari segi time management. Okay, ataupun dari segi financial problems, ataupun dari segi internet connectivity, ataupun dari segi devices, contoh. So you cari the suitable statement untuk each variables tu. Apa the suitable point untuk you punya main point tu. Okay, and then you carilah. Okay, so untuk part B ni saya nak you cari dalam 15 statement lah untuk total semua ni. Okay, and then untuk statement ni pula, make sure kalau you buat positive statement, semua positive statement sahaja. Okay, contohnya macam ni, online classes do not follow the timetable given by management. So statement ni dah statement negatif. And then yang kedua ni, the duration of time given to complete my task is short. So negatif juga, maksudnya tak sempat. Okay, so maksudnya you jangan buat bila statement tu you buat online classes do not follow the timetable given by management, and then tiba-tiba you cakap you have enough time to complete my task. So dia jadi macam tak tally lah, yang atas ni tadi negatif, yang bawah ni tiba-tiba positif. So make sure bila you buat negative statement, semua negative statement daripada 1 sampailah ke bawah, semua negative statement. Kalau you buat positive statement, semua positive statement. Okay, sebab bila you bercampur tu, nanti you kena tukar pula statement tu jadi positif, yang positif jadi negatif. So nanti susahlah dekat you. So nak memudahkan you just pilih salah satu, nak positif ataupun negative statement. So kalau macam ni negatif, so semua negatif. Contohnya I have trouble on paying the internet data subscription. So negatif. Okay, so tak naklah tiba-tiba I do not have a trouble on paying the internet. So dah positif lah, you tak ada masalah pun. So make sure kalau negatif je semua. Okay, so ini adalah example. So yang ni semua ada kat dalam Google Classroom, saya dah upload, so nanti boleh tengok. Okay, so ini adalah the first example. So the second example dekat sini, dia nak tahu factor affecting the improvement of self-confidence among students in UiTM Shah Alam. Alright, so sama for section A. So contoh kat sini gender, age. So age you biar isi tempat kosong sebab saya nak you ada data, quantitative data. And then faculty. So since dia kat sini dia nak UiTM Shah Alam, so kita based on faculty lah. Yang macam tadi ni dalam FSKM saja. So kita tengok based on program. So faculty, so kalau macam ni, so make sure you boleh dapat data from this faculty. Okay, FSKM ada, FSC ada, FKA ada. So tak naklah you buat 3 ni, tiba-tiba nanti you punya data semua FSKM. So bila you buat bacat you tu, semua FSKM. Okay, yang FSC dengan FKA dah tak ada dah dekat dalam you punya data. Okay, so make sure bila you ada 3 ni, make sure you boleh dapat daripada 3-3. Even seorang pun jadilah. Asal bila you buat data tu, you buat baca tu ada. Okay, ada dia punya data tu. Okay, and then inilah for part A. So for part A semua sama, demographic profile. So for part B, so this is regarding your title lah. Okay, kat sini you kata apa faktor yang affect the improvement of self-confidence. So you pecahkan lah. Okay, for example dekat sini the first variable dia adalah capabilities. So ini adalah dia punya point dia. And then the second one ni adalah family, influence of family. And then the third point dia adalah influence of friend. So dia nak tahu antara 3 ni yang mana satu yang menyebabkan kita punya self confidence tu. Okay, among students. So nanti bila kita test nanti kita akan run, so kita boleh tahu which one is the best factor. Okay, same goes with this. Okay, so nanti bila kita test nanti kita boleh tahulah apa yang menyebabkan student tu stress. Okay, so dari segi environment ke, time management ke, kita boleh tengok. Okay, so ini adalah the second example. And then the third example kat sini dia nak preferred ODI platform of students in FSKM. Okay, so dia nak tahu apa namanya students in FSKM lebih prefer guna yang mana satu platform. Okay, so for section A sama je, tak ada masalah. For section B, so macam ni lah. So dia pilih the first platform is Google Meet. And then this is the statement. And then the second one is Microsoft Teams. And then the third one is Webex. So dekat sini, since dia nak tahu yang mana satu dia orang lebih preferred, so kalau you tengok dia punya point dia ni sama je. Okay, dia punya point dia ni sama je. Since kita nak tahu, okay, sama ada dia orang agree ke tak agree. Contohnya macam Google Meet ni dia kata require students to download. So kita tengoklah agree ke tak agree. And then student can submit task on the platform. Okay, so ini adalah contoh untuk the third example. And then the last example adalah satisfaction on mobile telecommunication among students in UiTM Shah Alam. Okay, so nak tahu. So kat sini part A macam biasa. And then for part B, so kita tengoklah based on apa main point yang nak tahu, sama ada service quality ataupun call, okay, ataupun dari segi internet, so kita nak tahu. Okay, so nanti apa nama itu you discuss with your group mate. Okay, so once you dah dapat tajuk and then you draft your questionnaire, okay, based on this example, or you can Google je contoh questionnaire and then you ambil je point-point itu. And then once you dah ada tajuk, okay, you dah draft your questionnaire, then you can submit to me. Okay, so nak submit dekat mana? You akan submit dekat email saya ni. Okay, so make sure you submit dekat sini. Okay. So itu sahaja. And then bila you submit tu, make sure you buat you punya apa namanya tu? You punya draft tu dalam dokumen. And then make sure you buat title. You buat CS 2594A and then tajuk apa. Okay, you punya tajuk apa dia. And then save guna ni lah. Okay, supaya nanti yang mana satu. Alright. So that's all. Any questions before we end our class? Ada apa-apa nak tanya? Okay, so nanti ada lagi sejam ni, so you can do the tutorial. And then nanti saya akan assign, sekejap lagi saya akan tulis nama siapa yang kena buat the answer. And then once you dah siap, you just snap je. Make sure you punya jawapan tu dalam apa nama itu, dalam bentuk gambar. Nanti senang saya nak compile. Okay. So kalau tak ada any questions, so thank you for today. So jangan lupa, nak tanya apa?
Sorry for interrupting. Saya nak tanya deadline untuk questionnaire hantar draft questionnaire tu bila?
Okay, so untuk draft questionnaire dia punya last you can submit is on week 7. Kiranya before you cuti midterm. Okay, sebab nanti masa cuti midterm tu you can collect your data. Okay, ataupun kalau you dah siap, you submit je lah. Nanti boleh terus collect data. Tak ada masalah pun. Tapi last date yang saya terima untuk saya semak you punya question itu adalah on week 7 before midterm, before cuti midterm.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss. Thank you.
Alright. Okay. So kalau tak ada any question, jangan lupa fill in your attendance dekat dalam Google Classroom and then buat tutorial, nanti saya akan assign. So see you tomorrow. Okay. We can discuss on the tutorial. Okay. And then itu je rasanya. Okay. So thank you.